are back. So, Disney has finally announced their updated schedule for their movies, which I guess hopefully will start putting things in order. So let's go through it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
Alright, so I gotta tell you, this one's gonna be a short one. I'm planning on keeping this one a little bit tighter because I am in the middle of going through Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey, and I gotta tell you, I'm straight up not having a good time, bro. Also, it's taking me longer than usual because I gotta stop because I gotta take a print. I gotta take like a still because I want it to look nice. If I'm gonna do something, I want it to look nice, and so I gotta take a still from the movie and I gotta write stuff, and it's not fun. Hopefully, I'll be done by today. I'm planning on being done by today, and hopefully by tomorrow I'll go through it. It depends. I might just start throwing up and never stop. Like in Team America was. Great movie, by the way. Super stupid, but Matt Stone and Trey Parker are fucking geniuses. Anyway, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, before I get into it, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Also, live streaming pretty much every day. I'm aiming at least Tuesday through Thursday at 7 p.m. So far this week, I've been successful. Mondays, I'm usually a little bit later, like 9 p.m. And tomorrow, it's probably going to be sooner because I got to go down to Mexico. So there you go. If you wanna hear me rant, I'll give you. It's just going to be a summary, okay? It's going to be a Harley Quinn summary. So Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, a summary. It may actually end up being longer than the movie because I'll just start ripping on it and never end, but we'll see. I might also just start throwing up and never end. So we'll see. Hopefully, it'll be fun. Hopefully, you enjoy it. If not, I guess I'll just get pissed off for no reason, and I tortured myself doing that. So there you go. You're welcome. The things we do for love. Anyway, so let's get into this stuff because it's actually pretty important. But before we get into it, actually, I want you to check out my new Super Dario News logo here. Very important. Very, very official. Very official right there. And that took me like 2 minutes of work. I hope you appreciate it, all right? It was 2 minutes of my life. Anyway, let's start. Before we get into the Disney stuff, I want to talk a little bit about the DC Fandom here, which actually they released their numbers, and I found that information to be fascinating because they were basically just flexing their muscles and showing off how successful the event was. So I'll just read it here. DC Fandom generated 22 million global views during 24-hour event, which is massive. 22 million views is 22 million is the population of several European countries. So, and several US states. I think Texas has 20 million maybe. Florida, definitely. So, it's a good chunk of people. And overall, they've amassed over 150 million views for the trailers that they released. So honestly, this whole thing was a massive success for DC. And honestly, I'm not shocked that they're flexing like, yeah, we kicked ass. And also, they gave a few details of the upcoming event because they'll do this again. And it's called the DC Fandom Explore the Multiverse event. It's going to be another 24-hour on-demand experience via the same website, and this will be Saturday, September 12th at 10 a.m. So, and according to them, it's going to be 100 hours of content available for fans to watch on demand on their own schedule. Now, how are you going to watch 100 hours of content in a 24-hour period? I don't fucking know. So, to me, what that is signaling is that we're going to do this again. Why? Because it's making the money and it's successful, and apparently people don't have a lot of stuff to do. So what I did, I was actually talking to a listener with this about this, is I had it on in the background while I did other stuff, and when the stuff that I cared about was on, that's when I paid attention. So it's been successful, and they did it well. So good for them. Honestly, I'm happy that it's going so well for them. This is the breakdown of the event in case you care. Like what is this going to be? I'll just read it straight from the website. This is the time for fans to suit up and determine their own adventure, selecting from exclusive panel sessions, screenings, and never-before-seen content from the DC multiverse of films, television, comics, and games. Fans, your timeline awaits. At your own pace and at your own schedule, choose your path wisely with the help of official DC Fandom. Explore the multiverse program scheduler found at dcfandom.com. It doesn't have a 12th level intellect of Brainiac, but... damn it, okay. But it is certainly... it will certainly be a great guide to help you explore the multiverse on September 12th. So there you go. If you want to check it out, if you want to schedule your own thing, that's the place to find it. I checked out the last one. It was fun. So this one, I'm looking forward to it as well, especially because there's not much to do. Not much. No, we're just hanging around. We're wasting time. What are we doing? And you could be playing a video game and have that in the background, and all of a sudden there's a Batman trailer, and you turn around, you're like, hey, I want to watch the Batman trailer, and I have no idea what this accent is, but I started doing it, and I'm going to keep it. Anyway, that's the DC update there, in case you cared. Moving on. Let's move on to the Disney news, because that's what the headline of this video is. Big news is that the Walt Disney Studios has updated their release schedule for a lot of films. So, a lot of these are kind of like minor movies that most of you haven't heard about. So I'm just gonna stick to the big ones. So they have 4 big titles here, and I'll start with the one that I'm least interested in. So we got the Kingsman. So this is actually a prequel to the other to the Kingsman franchise, I guess. I honestly, I haven't seen the second one. I heard it's good, but I haven't seen it, so I wasn't super excited about this one. The release date is going to be February 26, 2021. So you could already kind of tell where Disney thinks this is going to go. The original release date was supposed to be September 18th. They're moving it back all the way to February. All right, so that's over half a year. So they're not very optimistic about how things are going to work, and also there's going to be a huge backlog of stuff. So I guess I understand it. It's better to play it safe than sorry, but there you go. Kingsman, for those of you who want to know what the movie's going to be about, I'll just read you the plot right here. In the early years of the 20th century, the Kingsman Agency is formed to stand against a cabal plotting a war to wipe out millions. So it's a prequel. It's basically it's a franchise about spies, and this is the prequel of how that group got created. At least that's my understanding of it. I just saw the trailer, and like I said, I haven't seen the second movie. So there you go. Next, we have one that I actually care about. Black Widow. So Black Widow is interesting in many ways. So it was supposed to already have come out, and it was pretty much radio silence for a while. We didn't really hear that. We heard it was delayed, but we didn't know for how far. It's supposed to be a prequel, which I think kind of messes up stuff because Black Widow is supposed to be dead in the MCU. There's a lot of really confusing things about this movie. I'm excited for Florence Pugh showing up. They have also teased a few things for this movie that I don't want to say, because to me, I think it kind of ruins things for the movie. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'm gonna avoid it. But we know it's going to be November 6th. So November 6th, a few months away. That means that's a signal from Disney that, okay, we're expecting things to get better, to get back to normal pretty soon. I mean, I know that November is still 2-3 months away, but it's better than February. And this one also goes hand in hand with the next title, which is Eternals. By the way, Marvel officially changed the title. It was originally The Eternals. Now it's just Eternals. Why did they change this? I don't know, but I mean, it's their movie. They can do whatever the hell they want. And now this one is set to be released on February 12th. The issue with delaying one thing in the MCU is that it delays everything. So this is, fortunately, since there was a shutdown and they couldn't shoot a lot of films, it's not that bad. The consequences aren't that bad, but they can just, move a few things down the line. I have no idea how this is going to work for contracts and all that stuff. That's supposed to be very carefully planned, but I mean, honestly, it's not my problem. So I don't care. They're Disney. They have the money. They'll figure it out. So the new release date for Eternals is going to be February 12th, 2021. Now, here's the weird thing. February 12th, like I said, it's like half a year away. But this is a movie that's going to have a ton of CGI. CGI, all that stuff, rendering takes a while. And for those of you who don't know what rendering is, basically it's the exporting of a film of a video file, right? So you do a whole bunch of stuff with it when you export it. And last year at Comic-Con, we were talking to with the editor of a TV show. I don't even remember what TV show it was right now, but it was a sci-fi show, so it had a lot of special effects. And we asked him, out of curiosity, like how long does it take to render an episode? And he said it takes like 6 weeks to render an episode. So 6 weeks is a month and a half. I have not heard of anything being shot for this movie, and it's going to be more than an hour. And the effects for an MCU film have a way higher standard than the effects for a TV show. So I'm very concerned. Like I said, February 12th, 2021 is not that far away for a movie that's going to have massive amounts of CGI. We've heard nothing about it. Nothing. I'll read you the plot here as IMDb says. The saga of the Eternals, a race of immortal beings who lived on Earth and shaped its history and civilization. Okay, just on that alone, it tells you it's going to need a lot of work, right? It's at least CGI. Here from the image, this is supposedly concept art. We can see that it requires a lot of CGI. I'm concerned. Honestly, I think they're being optimistic, but it's Disney so far. I'd say the majority of the MCU has been successful. They've done okay. So benefit of the doubt, maybe. But try to look at it this way. February, what is it? 6 months away? Less than 6 months away? 5? Well, let me check the exact date again. February 12th. What are we right now? August. We're almost at September. So you got September, October, November, December, February. Okay. So almost 6 months. Less than 6 months away. We haven't seen a trailer. We haven't seen a teaser. Nothing. Honestly, I haven't even heard that they've started shooting. So either they're keeping things really wrapped up. Imagine that they have to do a reshoot or something. It's and also things are not officially reopened to shoot everywhere. Honestly, this February 12th is optimistic, but like I said, this is a signal from Disney. Either they're saying that we got things under control, we believe that things are gonna get really are gonna get better really soon, or they're saying, we're not gonna give a fuck and we're just saying that's the day, or they're saying, you know what, we moved the date back before, we can do that again. So hopefully, honestly, that's the thing that I'm the most concerned about. That now companies are saying we can just delay stuff. Yeah, you'll just push it back. It doesn't matter. You'll just push it back. Now, when it comes to video games, that happens all the time. With movies, not as much. And usually it comes with a few consequences. Like the New Mutants, it lost all its hype. If it's out, I don't even know. I think it's out. But nobody really cares anymore. Because, it lost all its hype. It's usually bad. When things like that get delayed, it's usually bad. So, and most fans don't like it. So we'll see. I'm just, like I said, it's the MCU, Marvel. I have issues with the director. I have issues with the writer. I have issues with the cast. But we'll see. We'll just, see. We'll try to stay optimistic. February. If I have to put money on it, I say they're going to push it back. I'll just say right now, $5. They're pushing it back. Who am I betting? I don't know. I guess I could set the money on fire or something. I don't know. Or I don't know, give it to Eric, which would be the worst thing ever. But we'll see. Next, we have Pixar's Luca. Now, another movie that I've heard nothing about. Well, I've seen the concept art, and that's it. But Luca is the new Pixar movie, and I can read you the plot right here. On the Italian Riviera, an unlikely but strong friendship grows between a human being and a sea monster disguised as a human. So, things to be concerned about. There is only one cast member here on IMDb, and that's pretty much all the information here. So they don't even have a cast, or they haven't announced the cast, but supposedly the release date for this one is June 18th, 2021, so they have more time. They have more time to... well, it's not really a shoot, because, they're going to be doing everything CGI, probably. It's animated. Everything's animation, so it's more about, getting the casting right and doing the voices and all that stuff, and then adapting that to the characters. So I guess they can do it. It's easier, and it's almost a year away, so they gave themselves more time. But like I said, less than a year away. Less than a year away, and we've got not much to go on other than this piece of artwork. So, concerning stuff. Like I said, maybe Disney's just trying to be optimistic, or maybe, the mouse is just cracking the whip with everybody's gonna. You're gonna work as fast as you fucking can. We're on a fucking schedule. We lost so much fucking money. So it's possible. Honestly, you know what? Not only possible, it's probably likely. Disney has lost so much money over the last few months. So much money. The parks are closed. Movie theaters are closed. Fortunately, they got Disney Plus, and that's a new form of revenue. That's honestly, that probably saved their asses. But other departments probably lost a ton of money, particularly the film department. And now they're just gonna be cracking the whip on everybody, and it's gonna be like, you're gonna work 10 times faster, you son of a bitch. The problem here, obviously, first off, no matter how hard you crack the whip, a computer's gonna render at the same speed. There's not much you can do there. The other issue is that when you do things kind of in a rush, they tend to come out kind of crappy. So, cause for concern. Like I said, this is the biggest film studio in the world. They have all the money in the world. They can afford to, to spare no expense. Spare no expense. But it might be a tall order for them, but if anybody can do this again and has the budget for it and has the resources and has everything, it would be Disney. So again, benefit of the doubt. Benefit of the doubt. It's difficult, but we'll see. We'll see. So those are the big four that were updated by Disney. I think those are the only ones that anybody cares about, unless somebody cares about. Well, there's other movies that were announced. You got Paramount Pictures Without Remorse, that I've never really heard of, or Nomadland coming out on December. Well, that one's coming out December 4th, Nomadland, and Without Remorse is coming out on February 26th, which is at the same weekend as the Kingsman. On another piece of interesting news, I found this interesting. Apparently, the CW has announced a live-action Powerpuff Girls series. A sequel series. I'm sorry. It's the Powerpuff Girls sequel. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I did not see the ending of the Powerpuff Girls. Mainly because I think it's a Cartoon Network show, and I don't really think that it actually followed a story, so I didn't really know if it ended or not. The new series is being developed by Diablo Cody, who is going to be... Well, you might remember Diablo Cody. She wrote Juno, which was fun. And it's going to be produced by Greg Berlanti, who created the Arrowverse. So dude knows his stuff. A live-action Powerpuff Girls. Interesting. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Powerpuff Girls are, it's basically... What's the combination? Sugar, spice, everything nice, and a whole bunch of chemical elements. I remember the chemical element there. But it's basically a scientist creates 3 little girls who have superpowers. That's pretty much it. That's the gist of it. They fight an evil monkey who was Mojo Jojo. Mojojojo. Yeah, he's like an evil monkey with the brain. How they're going to do this live action? Not exactly sure. Is it going to be like the Powerpuff Girls in high school? Not exactly sure. Is it going to be similar to Supergirl? Not exactly sure. Are they going to be little girls? Are they going to be teens? Are they going to be adults? Not exactly sure. But this is Diablo Cody. Diablo Cody tends to go for the more sexual rated R stuff. And it's the CW that tends to go with just, putting the hottest people on screen with little clothing. But it's also PG, which is weird. So I honestly have no idea what to expect. This is a weird marriage. This is a weird combination. The Powerpuff Girls should have stayed in Cartoon Network. That's where they belong because they're cartoony. They're little girls with superpowers. In the CW, I don't know how they're gonna fit. It's actually pretty weird. It's pretty weird. I love the CW. Don't get me wrong. I love the CW, but I just don't see this fitting somehow, and I don't understand what Diablo Cody's doing in there. I like Juno. Jennifer's Body, different story. So we'll see. We'll see. If I have to guess, this thing's probably gonna come out next year. They don't say they don't say when they're planning to or when they're aiming for it. But if I have to guess, it's probably going to be at the end of 2021. I don't think it's going to take that long to, unless it gets immediately shut down because it's going to be really weird. But we'll see. But anyway, that's it. Like I said, I'm going to keep it short because I got to go back to watching the stupid movie I was watching. But that's it for Super Dario news for today. I gotta show, I gotta make a sounder for this. I gotta make like a little song like a new sound there. I don't know. I'll think about it. But that's it for today. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Also follow me on Facebook at Super Dario World, and I like live streaming pretty much every day, Monday through Friday. On Twitch you can find me at Super Dario World, and on YouTube at Super Dario World. You can join me there in the chat if you have any questions. It happens sometimes. It distracts me, but it's okay. I enjoy it. Sometimes it gives me something to talk about. They're like, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that angle for that, so I address it. Anyway, I'm going back to Harley Quinn. Wish me luck. Hopefully I won't throw up forever. That's it. Enjoy your night. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.